Ollantaytambo is known for having the finest granite stonework in the world.
This is Peru's greatest mystery, a story carved into stone, hidden in the Andean highlands, and still unsolved. Ollantaytambo, an ancient site once thought to be purely Incan, reveals secrets far older and far stranger. Megalithic stones weighing up to 70 tons are seamlessly fused without mortar, bearing marks that suggest technology far beyond the Bronze Age tools the Inca used.
Ollantaytambo was under construction by its original unknown ancient architects.
With machine-like huts, melted surfaces, and enigmatic symbols, these ruins whisper of a forgotten civilization, one capable of shaping stone with impossible precision. Who built this? And how? What knowledge have we lost? Let's dive in. The enigma of the stones. Ollantaytambo isn't just a historical site, it's a paradox. Located in Peru's Sacred Valley, northwest of Cusco, this massive stone complex has puzzled researchers, engineers, and archaeologists for decades. At the heart of its mystery lies the Temple of the Sun, a structure made of colossal pink granite slabs weighing between 50 to 70 tons. These stones weren't just stacked, they were fitted with such precision that even a razor blade can't pass between them. There's no mortar, no adhesive, just pure, perfect alignment. The question isn't just how they were placed, but how they were moved. The quarry these stones came from is miles away and across a river valley. No roads, no wheels, no pulleys, yet somehow these giants were transported up a mountain and set into place with pinpoint accuracy. The Incas, brilliant as they were, had only bronze chisels and stone hammers. These tools simply couldn't cut or shape granite like this. Even stranger are the markings left behind. Scoop-like impressions on the stone suggest that the material was softened or even melted, something modern science can't replicate on this scale without high-tech equipment. Some stones show perfect 90-degree angles, symmetrical cuts, and crisscrossed patterns as if shaped by a saw or laser. These features aren't unique to Ollantaytambo. Similar construction styles, gigantic stones, seamless joints, and mysterious knobs are found in places like Egypt, Turkey, and Japan, hinting at a global connection between ancient sites. It begs the question, were these structures built by a forgotten civilization with advanced knowledge of engineering and materials science? Or have we severely underestimated the capabilities of ancient people? Whatever the truth, the stonework at Ollantaytambo challenges everything we think we know about history, and it demands a second look. Clues of lost technology. Wander deeper into Ollantaytambo, and you'll find the evidence becomes even stranger. Behind the immaculate megalithic walls lies a clear contrast: rough, uneven stonework. This difference is striking. The primitive construction, likely done by the Inca, pales next to the seamless polygonal stones of the main walls. It's as if two civilizations touched the same structure, one with basic tools and another with mastery beyond anything we can explain. Look closer at the granite blocks, and you'll notice scoop marks and strange impressions, as if the rock was once soft and molded by hand. These marks don't appear random. They follow patterns, almost like fingerprints left by a machine. In some cases, the stones show perfectly smooth, glassy surfaces, something that doesn't occur naturally and can't be achieved with hand tools alone. Even more fascinating are the precision cuts. One stone appears to have been sliced with a thin blade, leaving a clean, narrow cut through solid granite. Others show core drill holes, with uniform circles carved deep into the stone. These are the kinds of marks left by high-speed drills, not stone hammers. But what ancient culture had tools like that? There's also a mysterious pattern found etched into the bedrock, a symmetrical crisscross grid, almost like the remnants of industrial equipment. How could such intricate shallow channels be carved into hard andesite with primitive tools? And why? Was it decorative, symbolic, or part of some forgotten machine process? These anomalies aren't isolated. They echo across ancient sites worldwide, from Tiwanaku to Giza, each hinting at a deeper, lost layer of human history. Ollantaytambo isn't just an Incan fortress, it's a gallery of impossible engineering.
And the fact of having been able to build such an instrument shows the ability of the Incas.
Each mark in the stone raises one question louder than all others. What did the ancients know that we have forgotten? Inca ingenuity meets ancient legacy. While Ollantaytambo's megalithic structures spark theories of lost civilizations, we can't ignore the brilliance of the Inca themselves. When they arrived at this mysterious site, they didn't tear it down. They built it around it. They adapted, restored, and preserved what they could, using their techniques to integrate with the pre-existing foundations. The contrast between the two building styles reveals just how advanced the earlier builders must have been. The Inca contributions, though less precise, were highly practical and innovative. One of their greatest achievements at Ollantaytambo was the construction of agricultural terraces, carved into the steep mountain slopes. These terraces, or andin, transformed rugged terrain into productive farmland. Supported by retaining walls of smaller stones and connected by a complex irrigation system, these platforms ensured food stability in a challenging environment. Water flowed through channels and aqueducts, perfectly balanced to avoid both flooding and drought. This type of hydraulic engineering was essential for life at high altitudes. It's a testimony to the Incas' deep understanding of the land and their environment. Storage was another key aspect of Inca design. Granaries and storehouses were built high on hillsides where cooler temperatures preserved crops like maize and potatoes. The layout of the town, ceremonial centers, and watchtowers also reflects a strong strategic and spiritual vision. But no matter how impressive the Inca achievements were, they couldn't replicate the stonework of the earlier builders. Their repairs looked crude in comparison, and many of the megalithic stones they attempted to move still lie scattered, abandoned mid-effort. What we see at Ollantaytambo is a merging of two eras: the visible genius of the Inca and the silent mystery of a much older civilization. Together, they create a site unlike any other, a place where history's layers are carved into stone. Signs of a lost civilization. As we examine the ruins of Ollantaytambo more closely, it becomes increasingly difficult to believe this masterpiece was created using only stone hammers and bronze chisels. Scattered across the site are half-buried megalithic blocks, some weighing over 50 tons, that appear abandoned mid-construction or mid-transport, as if a sudden event halted their placement. These aren't random debris. They're pieces of a story lost to time. One of the most striking features is the presence of knobs and keystone cuts on many of the blocks. These shapes don't match any known Inca construction methods, yet they appear at other ancient sites across the world, from Egypt to Japan, suggesting a shared knowledge or a lost global tradition in megalithic architecture. Equally fascinating are the strange marks on the stones, clean drill holes, flat saw-like cuts, and glassy surfaces.
You couldn't fit even a razor blade between these two stones. And this was shaped with stone tools
that seem to indicate the use of tools far more advanced than what the Inca possessed. The question then becomes, who created this, and with what technology? Many researchers propose that Ollantaytambo was originally built by a forgotten civilization, one that existed long before the Inca, possibly dating back to the end of the last ice age. The idea may sound radical, but the physical evidence challenges conventional explanations at every turn. Rather than dismissing the anomalies, perhaps it's time to reconsider our assumptions. The true story of Ollantaytambo may not begin with the Inca. It may begin with a civilization we've yet to fully rediscover. Rewriting history in stone. Ollantaytambo is more than just an archaeological site. It's a riddle carved into the Andes, challenging everything we think we know about human history. The official narrative claims the Inca built the site in the 15th century under Emperor Pachacuti. But the evidence tells a more layered story, one where the Inca were inheritors, not originators. The megalithic foundations, with their perfect stonework and impossible engineering, likely predate the Inca by thousands of years. Their sheer precision stands in stark contrast to the rougher repairs and additions made during the Incan period. It's not an insult to the Inca, it's a recognition of two different worlds of knowledge. The Inca were brilliant planners, engineers, and farmers, but they were working within the limits of their time. The builders before them, we don't even know their names. The question now is no longer if something came before the Inca, but what and who. Could this have been the work of a civilization lost to global cataclysm, as some researchers suggest? One with knowledge of stone softening, sound technology, or even advanced energy tools? We've been taught that ancient people were primitive and that progress moves in a straight line. But Ollantaytambo's stones say otherwise. They tell a story of rise, ruin, and rebirth, a story of knowledge gained and forgotten. And until we dare to look beyond the accepted timelines, we may never fully understand the genius that shaped these mountains into one of Earth's most enduring mysteries.
Now first, like always, be sure to hit the like button down below. It helps us out tremendously with the reach of this video. Thank you.
The legacy beneath our feet. What makes Ollantaytambo truly remarkable isn't just what we see, it's what still lies hidden, beneath the soil, under collapsed stones, and inside untouched chambers. There may be secrets waiting to rewrite everything we know about the ancient world. With each discovery, this site reminds us that history is incomplete and perhaps even deliberately misunderstood. The deeper we look, the more questions emerge. Why are there symmetrical cavities carved into the bedrock high above the valley floor? What purpose did the perfectly shaped recesses and crisscross patterns serve? Were they part of an energy system, an advanced construction method, or something we can't yet comprehend? Even the massive, half-buried granite blocks seem to be whispering stories of a forgotten past. Many display damage that looks unnatural, like tools failed while trying to shape them, or like a sudden disaster interrupted their placement. Others have remained unmoved for thousands of years, too heavy for the Inca to transport, left behind as silent witnesses of an older time. Across the world, we find echoes of this story. Megalithic sites with similar construction styles, strange marks, and inexplicable engineering. The same puzzle pieces, just different locations. If Ollantaytambo is part of a larger interconnected legacy of advanced ancient builders, then the full story of humanity might stretch back far further than we ever imagined. Until we uncover what lies beneath and decode what's been left behind, the mystery will remain unsolved, but its presence is undeniable, etched into stone and time itself. A site that defies explanation. Ollantaytambo stands as a monument that defies simple explanations. It's not just a relic of Inca greatness, nor is it just another stop on a tourist map. It's a challenge to our understanding of ancient civilizations. The seamless megalithic stones, impossible engineering, and unexplained tool marks suggest something far more advanced than history books currently acknowledge. Modern archaeologists often attribute these features to centuries of trial and error or natural erosion. But when you stand before these perfectly cut blocks, some weighing more than 70 tons, shaped and placed with such mathematical precision, you begin to question those answers. Why do we see laser-like cuts, drill holes, and mirrored surfaces on rocks carved centuries before such tools existed? The presence of inferior Inca construction directly on top of the older stonework makes one thing clear. The Inca did not build Ollantaytambo from scratch. They inherited it. They repurposed and revered it. But even their best efforts couldn't match the sophistication of the builders who came before. And yet, the official story hasn't changed. Despite overwhelming physical evidence, mainstream history clings to a narrative that can't fully explain what we see with our own eyes. The more we explore Ollantaytambo, the more it urges us to question, to look deeper, and to accept that maybe, just maybe, our past is more complex than we've been told. Until science catches up with the stones, Ollantaytambo will remain one of humanity's greatest riddles, written in granite and still waiting to be solved. Echoes of the ancients. As you walk through the ruins of Ollantaytambo, it's hard not to feel the weight of time pressing down on the stone. Every corner, every cut, every perfectly joined block seems to echo the presence of something ancient, something powerful that once thrived here. It doesn't feel abandoned. It feels paused, as if waiting for someone to finally understand. The Incas, with all their ingenuity, clearly held the site in deep reverence. They chose to build their temples and terraces around the existing megalithic core, never daring to dismantle what had already stood the test of time. That alone speaks volumes. They recognized greatness when they saw it, even if they didn't fully understand it. The deeper mystery is not just how the stones were shaped, but why. What purpose did this complex serve? Was it a temple, a fortress, an energy hub, or something entirely beyond our modern categories? The strange knobs, recesses, and patterns suggest intentional design, perhaps for functions we've long forgotten. Some believe Ollantaytambo was part of a lost global civilization, one that shared knowledge across continents and disappeared after a massive cataclysm. Whether or not that's true, the similarities between this site and others around the world are hard to ignore. In the end, Ollantaytambo isn't just a place, it's a message from the past, one carved in a language we've only just begun to decode. And as long as the stones stand, they will continue to whisper their secrets to those willing to listen. Unlocking the forgotten past. Ollantaytambo may one day become the key to unlocking a forgotten chapter of human history. It pushes the boundaries of archaeology, engineering, and even human imagination. If we dare to follow where the evidence leads, we may begin to understand that our ancestors were far more advanced, technologically and intellectually, than we've been taught to believe. We often measure progress by modern standards: electricity, machines, and digital systems. But what if there was another kind of advancement? One rooted in energy, resonance, stone manipulation, or earth-aligned architecture. The builders of Ollantaytambo didn't just stack rocks. They created structures that have stood for thousands of years without mortar, withstanding massive earthquakes and time itself. That level of resilience and intelligence can't be easily dismissed. Today, we possess powerful tools, yet we still can't replicate many of the feats achieved here with the same efficiency or elegance. That humbling truth suggests we've forgotten something vital along the way. We've lost not only techniques, but perhaps even an entire worldview, one that saw nature, energy, and structure as interconnected. The real mystery of Ollantaytambo isn't just who built it or how, it's why that knowledge was lost. What caused this civilizational amnesia? Was it war, cataclysm, or the slow erosion of memory over millennia? As explorers, researchers, and storytellers, our role is not to impose modern explanations, but to ask better questions. The stones are still here. The clues are still waiting. Maybe it's time we stop rewriting history and start rediscovering it. A monument beyond time. Ollantaytambo is not just a marvel of stone. It's a monument that transcends time itself. It bridges the known with the unknown, the recorded past with whispers of a forgotten age. With each carved block, it challenges the linear story of civilization and reminds us that the past is far deeper and far stranger than we ever imagined. It's easy to walk through ruins and see only rocks, but at Ollantaytambo, the stones feel alive. They hold precision that rivals modern machines, strength that has resisted centuries of erosion, and secrets no textbook can fully explain. They weren't just placed for utility. They were shaped with intention, with purpose, and perhaps with knowledge we've yet to reclaim. This site forces us to reconsider the limitations we place on ancient cultures. It invites us to question whether history, as we know it, is merely the surface of a much deeper story. A story of rise, fall, and rediscovery. A story that loops rather than marches forward. Standing at Ollantaytambo, you're not just in the presence of history. You're in the presence of a mystery that refuses to fade. The more we study it, the more we realize we're only scratching the surface of something vast and profound. Perhaps the most important lesson Ollantaytambo offers isn't about stonework or lost technology. It's about humility. It reminds us that the past still has something to teach, and if we listen closely, its message might just reshape the future we think we understand. Ollantaytambo stands as a powerful reminder that history may be far older and far more mysterious than we've been told. Each stone challenges conventional timelines and invites us to explore possibilities beyond mainstream narratives. From precision-cut granite to unexplained construction methods, the site whispers of a forgotten chapter in human civilization. Were these the works of ancient hands guided by knowledge we've since lost? Or are we only now beginning to understand the depth of our past? The truth may lie just beneath the surface, waiting to be uncovered. Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and never stop seeking what was left behind.